Houlihan's painting party. This ain't your daddy's painting class. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mary Houlihan. Yeah, bitch. We're doing this. Yeah, baby. There's something about Mary.
Hi, everyone. There's something about Mary.
Yeah, baby. There's something about Mary.
Pew, pew, pew. Okay, and then, okay.
This ain't your daddy's painting class.
Forrest, can you put on another scorcher?
Another scorcher.
Cool. Hi, Mask. Hi, Blog. Hi, Danny. Woo! Check it out. It's happy. I'm here with my Margaritaville merch. Hi, Melly. You got a bumper. I'd love to see that. Yay. Thank you, Emily. Yes, I was gone for a month. Now I'm back in California, where I live. And there's my dog. We're in our new apartment. We hurriedly moved into this apartment right before we left for a month. It is so white in here. Hashtag Mary's apartment so white. Oh yeah. Okay. So check out my Insta and TikTok and YouTube for my Cuba vids. Yes, so it's nice to be back. As I've stated on the show before, I don't like streaming on the East Coast because it's too late. I like that this show starts at 6 p.m. here. I don't like being up at 9 p.m. Welcome to Mary Houlihan's painting party. Actually, before I get into that, let me bring on my guest. Colin Hernandez. Clap, 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 clap. Hi, Colin.
How's it going? How are you?
Really good. So this is our first time meeting, but we've chatted online and it looks like we have some mutuals.
Yeah. LA is a small place. People say it's so big, but I swear, it's a small world here, a small city.
True. So what are you running for? What's going on?
I'm running for California State Assembly District 51, which for those who know LA geography, it's essentially half of Los Feliz all the way to Santa Monica. So it counters a lot of the, along the hills, along the mountains, but also one of the wealthier parts, the kind of the little more conservative parts of LA, or with like Beverly Hills and West Hollywood and Santa Monica. So,
and kind of, you have some weird opponents, but I think kind of your main opponent, right? He gets lots of corporate donations, correct?
He gets corporate donations. In fact, a lot of the donations he gets from corporations are corporations that actually profit off our great unaffordability crisis here in California. So like he gets money from, the health insurance lobby. He gets money from Airbnb. Again, corporations that really just profit off, the housing crisis and our healthcare crisis. So,
and that's who you want in office, right? Someone who's beholden.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, and you're also funded by big corporations, right?
No, unfortunately not.
No,
I don't take any corporate money. I don't take any super PAC money. You'll never see me host a wine cave dinner. So, it's really, really grassroots over here.
Nice. Forrest, how do people donate? I'm sure you got a link.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat to
Oh.
colinforcalifornia.com.
Nice. Okay, so if you want to give some dollars, check it out. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so I started doing, okay, well, this is my old show, Mary Houlihan's Painting Party, where we paint and draw. And the theme today is Pokemon, because I saw that you did a Pokemon stream, right?
Every week I do a Twitch stream. We dual stream on TikTok and Twitch where I play Pokemon. And
Oh my God,
talk to
I have
people.
to watch.
Yeah.
You're playing Red? What are you playing?
Fire Red, yeah. Playing the old school Fire Red, so reliving my childhood. Yeah, it's been good. But
which Pokeball did you pick?
so I picked Charmander. So I'm doing a Nuzlocke, which I don't know if you're familiar. It kind of sets the game on hard mode. So there's like permadeath on the game. So if you lose, if a Pokemon faints, you have to treat it like it's dead. You have to name your Pokemon, so it like really makes it like hard at stake. So that's what we're doing here.
That's cool. So yes, this is Mary Houlihan's Painting Party. So now this is the time where I do what I like to call mousekeeping. Mousekeeping, what's that? Well, it's when there's a gif of a mouse and I break down the housekeeping. And the mouse is sweeping a little broom, which is cool. So the rules of the show, if you want to paint or draw at home, please do. And send us your work, and then we can screen share it and go, wow, you made that? That's amazing. And we'll probably be on here for like an hour, so do it fast. Don't take 5 hours to do it. Do it in less than 1 hour. Not 6-minute abs, 7-minute abs. And so yes, the theme is Pokemon. Okay, I just realized this. Have you guys ever seen this before? Okay. Pokemon. Oh, okay. Oh, God. Okay. Share this tab instead. There's a Pokeball. Have you guys seen this? Have you heard of this? Catch Pokemon by searching their names. Oh. Okay, who's that?
Who is that? I used to know all of them. Oh, that's Volcanion. I think that's what his name is.
Volcanion?
Yeah.
Evolved from Poliwag. I mean, often they share the same root word. Poliwag turned into...
I know this. This is Poly. His name's Poliwhirl.
Poliwhirl. Okay. Oh, good, we got him. See, this is cool. This reminds me of like when I was a kid using the internet and going to like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon's websites and playing games.
Yeah, playing those Flash games. Yeah, those were great back in the day.
What is it? Vaporeon, Flameon? Who's this?
That's Ponyta. Now I'm just showing everyone how much I know Pokemon. They did this study that like if you grew up playing Pokemon, there's a part of your brain that has all the information in it. And it's very true.
Uh-oh. Okay, Danny says, wait, what's going on? Okay, so if you Google Pokemon, It shows you a cute little game. Oh, duh. I know a cofable when I see one. I'm not an idiot. Whoa. Nice. Okay. Oh, right. So yeah, so this is my show where I paint, but I started this other pod called the Mary Houlihan Show, where I started by being like, I was annoyed at like blacklisting in Hollywood, like my Muslim friends and pro-Palestine friends obviously being excluded from certain jobs, and people being like, what are you talking about? That's not going on. So I was like, I just want to interview people who I think are funny, and like, I think they should be on TV. And I guess a podcast is kind of TV. And because we talk about, you know, I guess socialism. I don't know. I don't want to box myself in. People started saying, oh, you got to interview my friend. They're running for office. You got to interview my friend. They're running for office. So I've been meeting all these people running for office, including you now. And I feel so hopeful now. I feel like this has really done wonders for my hope level, because, you know, there's a lot of people that feel doomed and think all politicians are rotten, but I feel very strongly now that just like, let's just get a bunch of people in there that don't take corporate money, and then they'll do what they want. They'll vote based on their heart and not based on, oh, I really owe these people or whatever.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that with the like what Danny just said, you know, with the next generation of politicians, like Zoran, for example. You know, he's getting shit done, and I think it's people are finally seeing like have a refreshing face of like, wow, our politicians can actually do stuff and help us. So that's what I hope to do.
Yeah, it's cool because like a lot of this stuff that, you know, years ago people would say like, that's so radical. But like a lot of these things are just like common sense, and like if you can communicate them good, then most people are like, yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, and I find that when I talk to people, even like in, you know, wealthy areas in LA, like people are like, yeah, you know, I do think that billionaires do too much, or like I do think we all should have healthcare. I do think maybe we shouldn't send our tax dollars to like Israel and like as they commit genocide. So these are very popular positions, and like the average voter understands them.
Is anyone else in your race good on Palestine or even talk about it?
No, I'm the only one who is good on who talks about Palestine. The incumbent actually is one of the most pro-Israel politicians in the California State Assembly. He authored AB 715, which, for those who don't know, it disguises itself as like an anti-discriminatory law around anti-Semitism in particular, but it really focuses on conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. So like if like me wearing this hat, I would get in trouble if I was a teacher or a student because that's anti-Semitic now these days. So he wrote that bill, and Gavin signed into law last year. And now he's co-authoring another law that makes it illegal to protest in front of a synagogue or a place of worship if they're doing like land sales in Palestine and occupied Palestine, or, you know, if they're having like a fundraising event for the IDF or something like that.
Yeah, it's super interesting to me. I feel like West LA is kind of like similar demographics to like New York and New Jersey, where I grew up. And I think in prior years, people would be like, oh, like, don't say anything about Palestine. There's a bunch of Jewish people there and you're going to alienate them. But like we saw with Zoran, like young Jewish people, like millennials and Gen Z, they don't like genocide. And like I always forget her last name, the woman who just won in New Jersey, Anna Lahia something.
Oh, Ana Lilia Mejia. Yeah.
Yes, like she also was running in a place with those kinds of demographics, and people are like, yeah, just because we're Jewish doesn't mean like we want to commit genocide. We won't just like blindly vote for these like APAC lunatics. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in your district.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm trying to lean into it more. I mean, I've been an anti-Zionist for like over 15 years. You know, I've been protesting, and I do think we are seeing that like a lot of young Jewish people don't want genocide to be done in their name. That they don't want like, or just in general, we don't want our tax dollars to be going to send off to kill people, kill children, and fund an apartheid state. So like that's why I think now we're seeing that narrative shift, and I think it's actually good.
Yeah. I was talking to Chuck Park. Do you know Chuck Park?
No, I do not.
He's running for Congress in Queens in New York. And yeah, we were talking about this stuff, and he said something to me that I was like, oh yeah, huh? Why doesn't anyone ever talk about that? He said like, it's so weird that we give all of this money to Israel for them to then buy weapons when they should be paying it. They can buy weapons themselves with their own tax dollars. Why should our tax dollars be doing it? Yes, we all know that. But South Korea is next to a belligerent nation that has nukes and is threatening its neighbors. We're not giving our tax dollars to South Korea. Like, it's like there's no argument to be giving money to Israel when there's other allies of ours that arguably have more risk. So the argument like to be giving them tax dollars to defend themselves kind of falls apart when you think about it for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I know a lot of politicians right now are trying to pivot of like, oh, the distinction between offensive and defensive. Like they'll say like, I don't support offensive, but I'll support defensive weapons, but it's weapons and all the same. So I don't know how you can make that distinction. Like we wouldn't, to your point, we wouldn't give, other countries that are at war like defensive weapons, quote unquote. So why are we making that distinction here with Israel? So, and I think a lot of people want to make sure, like, because we do essentially pay for their defense funds, they're able in Israel, they are able to have universal health care. We don't. They're able to have free public college. We don't. So it's like, why are we subsidizing like Israel's like lifestyle? To your point, they could pay it for themselves. Like,
yeah, I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling like people are getting it, and so much of like politicians in the past talk in like consultant speak, and if we just like talk honest and from the heart about like, yeah, this obviously doesn't make sense, I think people respond to it. Welcome to the stream, Redacted Bananas. If you're just joining us, we're chatting with Colin Hernandez, who's running for
California Assembly District 51. So yeah, we're talking the state level, not the congressional level. I know a lot of focus is usually around the federal and congressional stuff, but
I don't know much about assembly. Yeah, how does that work? What do assembly representatives do?
So we act on the state level. So, think of it, I know in some states it's called assembly, other states it's just straight up like House of Representatives. So like Zoran, for example, before he was mayor, was an assembly member. And we are essentially California's House of Representatives. So we pass laws that affect a lot of people on the state level, which arguably has way more of an impact on everyday life for people here than the federal government does. So we can pass, taxation laws, we can pass, other law, like, help with immigration, especially to counterbalance ICE and protect our immigrant communities. We can, do a lot of stuff like that. Let's see. And I know recently there was a big fight around CalCare, which was going to be California's own Medicare for All system here, but that unfortunately got shot down, and never made it to committee. So
Why is that? Why did it get shot down?
I think the obvious answer is that a lot of our politicians, and including the incumbent I'm running against, do take a lot of money from corporations like Anthem Blue Cross, like Cigna, from a lot of health insurance, from a lot of pharma lobby, and that's what impedes our progress. I mean, like, it's part of the California Democratic Party's platform to be for single-payer healthcare. 86% of registered Democrats in California are for single-payer healthcare. I mean, even Gavin Newsom, when he ran in 2018, wanted to pass single-payer, but unfortunately, that lobby is very powerful, and we need more people who are going to project that money and actually fight for their constituents to get healthcare. Like drawing Pokemon that I actually know how to draw and like are very spherical shapes, so I don't mess up in front of everyone. Got my little box of crayons.
Something that just popped into my head about Pokemon is when you catch a Metapod, as opposed to letting your Pokemon evolve into a Metapod, and then the only move that it can do is harden. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
It is annoying when you have a Pokemon like that. When you have like Metapod, you catch one and it's just like, or even like Magikarp, who just knows Splash.
Yes, Splash is so funny. What a funny move.
I see someone in the chat said do Pokemon have free healthcare? They do. There is free healthcare in Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right? You just go to that's that's so funny. What a good point.
What is your favorite crayon and which one will you? I do like me a good. I have 48 here. I see I'm like more drawn to the reds here. I do like the red violet one right here.
Ooh, yeah.
Typical red is good. Probably one of those.
I like the green blues. Blue, green, green, blue, turquoise,
Yeah.
robin's egg. So you're from California forever.
Yeah. I am a
This is 9th generation.
9th generation Californian. My family's been here since it was still Mexico, like barely Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been here for a while. I was born and raised here in LA, grew up in the Valley, for those who know LA, 818 till I die. But yeah, and I've just seen the state change a lot. I went to school in Colorado. I do like Colorado, shout outs to Boulder. But yeah, I just love California. It's an amazing state. And you said you're from the East Coast, right? From New Jersey or New York?
Yeah. Yes, I'm from New Jersey. I just did something with my hand because I was trying to get my camera to focus. I wasn't doing it at you, Colin. Don't worry.
Oh no.
Redacted Bananas says, this guy seems chill. Can he be the next governor?
Dude, I don't know what's going on in that race.
Did you watch the debate last night?
No, so every week we do postcard parties and where we sign, where we get volunteers and we all do postcards, have beers and stuff. And that was last night, so I did not watch the debate, but I did hear the snippets from what happened. And yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I definitely don't want Steve Hilton or Chad Bianco. He's like Steve Hilton looks like a Feels just like a Bond villain. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's British.
Yeah. I was about to ask, which one is the British one?
It's Steve Hilton.
Steve Hilton. He yeah, I saw Francesca Fiorentini was live threading it. She was live tweeting on Threads, and I was like, this shit looks funny. So then I put it on, and the thing that really got me was Steve Hilton. During one of his answers, he said, "I want to make it Californiable," and then he kind of like waited. Like it seems like he was like me and my team were really hoping that Californiable would land, and it was like Californiable. Fetch is not happening. Californiable is not happening.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I know that ever since Swalwell dropped out, that like Tom Steyer's like risen up, and now like Javier Becerra has risen up. So it'll be interesting what actually happens.
Where are any of them good on Israel, or no, none of them?
No, I know that Tom Steyer is trying to position himself as like the kind of reasonable one on Israel, but because he like came out and said like AIPAC's actually bad, but
right.
I know that like he did a forum with like Jewish California, like formerly known as JPAC, and just said the usual like talking points. And I think he was on Hassan's show, and he was like asked like point blank, "Do you think what Israel's doing is a genocide?" And he's gave up like the
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that, but I guess I also know that he's not taking money from anybody because he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess in theory, like people are hoping he could be moved on some things, because it's like no one's funding you. Just say what you mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Is there an effect that you can have? Yeah. So what we can do is that we can get people. We could divest, make sure that California divests from Israel. So kind of like what they were trying to do in New York, where they have all the state pensions, invested in Israel. Israeli bonds. We can stop that as well in California. So that's something we can do. I know that's more of a federal thing that has more power, but that's something we can do on the state level. And I know Oliver Ma, he's running for lieutenant governor. I think his thing is that as lieutenant governor, he can get the UCs to also divest from Israel as well. So
That's cool. Because it also seems like yeah, that does have a real effect, even though it's quote unquote just at the state level. And also you would think it could lead to like a domino effect of other states being like, well, that state's residents seem happy with them doing that. Maybe we should do that here too.
Yeah, and I hope it catches on. But I do think that just like any other state, just like America in general, the Israeli lobby is still pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So I finished my first Pokemon. I see you got yours. I drew Wooper. Really
Ooh, nice. I love I don't know what you call them, the things that come out of his sides.
Oh, they're like gills, because he's like an axolotl. So.
Oh, of course, yes. Whooper is such a good pull. One of my alma maters stopped calling me for donation money ever since I asked them to divest the last time they did. That's kind of funny, just to picture like the student at the spreadsheet typing in notes, mad at us about Israel, don't call back.
I mean, that's one way to get off the list, I guess. But I kind of feel offended. My school never calls me.
That's funny.
My wife, she gets called a lot from her school, and I'm like, I'm over here too. But no, I'm glad I don't get called. But,
My school went broke. They should have been asking
really?
for money.
I used to work when I went to school in Colorado. I worked for like a month at one of those call centers, asked
Mhm.
alumni for money, and it was so hard because you're asking people for money,
And
and
they
like
like
half the
have
time
loans.
they're
They're
like,
like,
my
"Oh,
wife just died, or I just got laid off, and it's like, and they still make you ask, like, and I
yeah.
just couldn't do it, and I
Is there
quit. So
anything you can do?" Yeah, that's dreadful.
now I gotta figure out what I want to draw. I was play. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's good. Just the kids just doing their job. I see you're making Raichu over there.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my go-to is Pikachu, of course. But I realize I don't have a yellow marker. I have an orange marker. So I started drawing Raichu. But now I'm like, where's my orange marker? It's here. I was sitting on it. Okay. Beauty. So what did
Yeah.
you do before this?
What would I do before this? So I have a background in advocacy and nonprofit work.
Mhm.
Funny enough, that's how I used to work for the incumbent.
Okay.
He's my
That's
former
how
boss.
you know he's bad.
I'm sorry?
That's how you know he's bad.
Yeah. I used to work for the incumbent at Equality California, which is California's like one of the largest LGBTQ plus like rights nonprofits here in the state. I was like a lowly like comms associate intern, and he was the executive director. So I don't have any tea to spill. He kind of treated me like the like kind of like the ugly step kid. I don't know, because like the guy who hired me originally got fired a month later, and then their replacement got fired like 2 months after that. So they were just like, I guess you're here. So that's pretty much it.
So I gotta ask, you're ninth generation Mexican American. Do you like all those movies from the 90s? Like Me Familia and Blood Out and Selena and Born in East LA. I feel like
I'm
there
gonna
was
be
a
honest, I've
run.
not seen the movies.
Oh my God, you gotta see these movies.
I know. My dad probably has seen them, and he probably loves them. His favorite was always watching Zorro, and that's like his jam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Born in East LA is pretty fun. It's like a comedy. It's a comedy movie, but it's sneakily political. It's Cheech, and I guess it's how does it go? I think he crossed the border. I think the character crossed the border when he was a kid and never bothered to become a citizen. I think that's the premise of the movie. And then he gets arrested and they try to deport him, and comedy ensues. He's kind of a cool guy.
Cheech?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like him. I don't think he's been in anything recently, but I do like him. He was good on that 70s show. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's Zorro's great.
He's also
I do need to watch those movies.
an
What
art
else?
collector. Did you know that?
I'm sorry?
He's an art collector.
Cheech?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like I collect like Van Goghs or something like that, something crazy like that, or is it just like anything I like pretty
I
much?
think he collects a lot of like Mexican American artists, and is very like, trying to make sure that like the culture is appreciated in a historical sense.
Mhm.
Pretty cool guy. The Spy Kids franchise. Spy Kids is canonically Mexican as well.
Oh yeah, Danny Trejo, and yeah, I haven't seen those movies in a bit. That pained me when I found out that both Alexa Vega, that's her name, right? Alexa Vega, and I don't know his name, but he's married to Megan Trainor. That they're like super conservative now.
Really? Oh, that's so sad. That's funny. I saw Angela Gonzalez Torres, she had a comedy show last week.
Mhm.
California voter. She's running for Congress. She's cool. She had there was this comedian on the show who I had never met before. Her name was Nicole Corona, and she was so funny. And she's born and raised in Lincoln Heights, and she had a joke about like 50% or whatever the percent of Latinos voted for Trump, and it sucks because we don't know which ones. And it was like in a brewery where there were some like Mexican birthday parties in the back, and she was like, maybe some of them, we don't know.
Crazy. That's a crazy stat too. I never understand that.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people think he's saying he's going to do these things, but it won't affect us.
Yeah,
And
classic.
then they're like, oh no, it's affecting us. But I don't know. I get annoyed at people like blaming Trump voters or complaining about Trump voters, because I'm sort of like, guys, fascism is here, and it's like we kind of have to like get these people on our team. So like I know it like feels good to like tell people that they're stupid, but I think we tell them why they should vote for this other thing instead.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why, like, shaming people. Well, there are definitely people to shame for sure, but I think like someone like that who maybe has just seen their lives, like, they want both parties aren't speaking to them, and then they see a guy who is like, I'm just gonna smash everything and I'm gonna be fight for you, even though like I'm literally a lion who's gonna rip your face off. Like, I'm gonna do it, and they that's what makes them vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand it, but like, yeah, I don't think shaming is the way to go, especially since like when you have a lot of like, neoliberal corporate centrist Democrats shame a lot of people on the left for not backing like Kamala Harris or
Right.
Hillary Clinton back in 2016, or even like whoever they try to like push forward in 2028.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the point, I feel like some people forget, the point is to win elections.
Yeah.
It's not to be better than everybody. You're supposed to get people to like your ideas. So like, what's gonna happen with CalCare now? Like, can people just like vote on it again, and when can or will that happen?
So it's effectively dead, this legislative cycle. So unless someone brings it up on the Senate side, I think it's essentially dead, this cycle. Which, I mean, lucky for us that the cycle is about to end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to wait that long. But it is sad because, like I mentioned, like a lot of people in California want it, and like a lot of people are paying for it. And we are the richest state in this country. We are the fourth largest economy in the world, as everyone likes to say.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why we cannot guarantee healthcare to every single person, especially when like our party, the California Democratic Party, has its own bylaws of like, this is what we're going to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
So it is sad, but I do think it probably won't be an issue until next year, hopefully. And look at my face right now, but you know, CalCare, it is something to hopefully fight for. So if anyone here is in California, I would recommend just, you know, when it comes up again, to really call your state representative to vote for it, because it does. We talk about the humanity of it, and I'm going to sound like a total Republican right now, but like, you know, there's also the business side of it where it does help small businesses thrive. I mean, we talk about Hollywood, you know, we just saw that Marvel announced that they were going to go to the UK because there's the NHS. They don't want to pay the rising healthcare costs here in California. So we want to save Hollywood. That's a good way to save it, and that's a good way to help businesses thrive here and everything. So
We got some viewer art from Slappy Phil.
got it. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Nice. Damn, send that to me, please. I love that. Hasbro left Providence for Boston and directly cited our refusal on public transit. Yeah, I mean, it's just when we defund a lot of these like critical infrastructures, it's kind of like cutting off our nose to spite our face. Like, you know, we having these like critical, you know, support systems like public transit, like healthcare, like, you know, even childcare can really help our economies thrive and really help our communities thrive. So it is something to fight for. Right, it's easy. Okay. So do you draw a lot? I'm guessing you're really good at drawing, since that right shoe is looking pretty good.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm good at drawing. I used to paint a lot. I don't paint that much anymore. When I was in my 20s, I would do like painting commissions all the time. So people would send me pictures of their pets or whatever, and then I just paint it.
Nice.
Have you ever seen the show on Adult Swim, Joe Pera Talks with You?
No, I have not.
I did paintings for that show.
Nice.
So like this guy hosts the show, and he has a sweet Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross kind of appeal to him, and he talks to you, the viewer, about grocery shopping or going to the hair salon. And so for every episode, I would paint like a picture that was thematic to the episode.
Nice.
So then a bunch of his fans started getting painting commissions.
Oh, I think I did see that. That was funny.
Thank you. Oh yeah, so that interview, I was like working at this place where we would make all kinds of videos. Sometimes they were like political or comedy news type things, and sometimes they were really just like throwing stuff and seeing whatever sticks to the wall, just like trying to make viral vids. And so even when I worked there, sometimes I wouldn't want to be on camera, and I'd be like, can I just like paint something and we'll do like a time lapse? It's like an overhead camera. So yes, I've finagled all these ways to get work as a painter, which is funny.
That's good.
When I went to school for painting, and back then I would have pictured myself as more of like a gallery artist. But I was kind of intimidated by the art world, and also just like didn't like it because it's a scam.
Yeah.
Like when I was in art school, the teachers would tell us like, the best way to make money as an artist is to be a sugar baby. You got to find some like rich person. I mean, guys and girls, you should find a rich guy to pay your bills, and then you can do all the painting you want. Like all of the reality of being a fine artist was so grim. And the people who buy expensive paintings, they buy them as investment products. And so they buy paintings, and then they buy warehouses, and they store the paintings in warehouses, and then they like hope that you get famous and then die so that they can sell your stuff. So, and also I'm just kind of like shy and not good at like schmoozing at a gallery opening.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I used to work in DC, and I worked in tax policy. And as they say, schmoozing and like networking is half the game in DC, and I just could never do it. It's just like the worst part about it.
DC seems crazy.
It was fun. I liked it. I was there in like 2015 to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So like the end of Obama, beginning of Trump. Vibe shift for sure. I remember on the day after the election, just like everyone on the subway in DC was just silent. Like no one was talking.
Yeah.
Everyone just like really sad. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was like everywhere. But I imagine in DC there is like an added element of like, oh wow, like our professional lives are about to get really insane.
Yeah, and then it's just never great because like sometimes I was late to work because the motorcade. So I'm like, God damn it, like Mike Pence or like Trump is making me late to work.
Yeah.
So were you in LA here in 2016, or were you still on the East
No, I
Coast?
just moved here. I've lived here like a year now.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was in New York, and everyone thought that she was gonna win. So I remember I did like a comedy show the night of that was like, we're all goofing on elections, and that no one had any idea that he would win. And then the show ended early enough that like results weren't really in enough for people to be like, oh wow, okay, something's happening. So then I remember I went to like a friend's party, and same thing, we're all like, woo, we're gonna have a woman president, that'll be cool. And the results are coming in, and it was like, what? Well, certainly the next state won't go for him. Okay, well, let's just see what the next state like was. Really crazy.
Truly like that Dave Chappelle SNL sketch, the day after, if you ever saw it. Yeah. But DC was fun. I enjoy it. I don't know how it is now. Haven't been since 2019, but I definitely had a good time. All right, I did another Pokemon since we've been talking. I did Geodude.
Oh, nice.
Very
Not
cool.
that great, but I can only do like the orb, the like spherical ones apparently.
Nice. At the Rock Gym, of course.
He's badass, nice. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I'm not gonna write you a love song.
Very good. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean the campaign, it's been going good. I mean, we've been talking to voters, we've been chatting, we've knocked on a lot of doors, phone call, phone banked. We've written up a shit ton of postcards that we're going to send out first week of May. That's when ballots drop. And we're looking pretty good. I do think it's going to be a dem on dem race in the general. Hopefully none of those. So in my race, there are 5 people running. One of them is the incumbent. The other one is myself, 2 Republicans, and then one, far right independent guy. So
What's that guy's deal?
He's like a tech bro. He just like very like we need to give like idolizes Elon Musk. We need to give tax breaks to all the billionaires while cutting every single social safety net possible.
So stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That is the opposite of what we need right now. But that's kind of why I got in this race, because I didn't see anyone from the left challenging the incumbent, and I did think that maybe perhaps it would have, if no one had challenged him, that we could live in a world where that guy won.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, this district is made up of some of the conservative parts of LA, and not everyone's allergic to nuts. So like it's pretty dire out there, and that's why I say get involved with the local politics. Like always vote down ballot. You never know who you're going to let win if you don't vote down ballot. So
Such a good point.
I got my real ID, partially because I assume is the next step for in-person voting. Ay.
Now they're changing it to passports. It's not even real ID anymore.
So stupid. Why'd I get it then?
Yeah.
I wonder how ICE is going to affect elections, midterms.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Probably waiting at polling stations.
A lot of people are. Well, I just mean like getting people out to vote. I feel like so many people. You hear people say like, "Well, I believe in immigration enforcement, but I didn't want this."
Yeah.
Also, like, there's all these people that like aren't going to work because they're scared of ICE, and then I'm like, huh. Well, I wonder what's going on with all these like restaurant owners then. If like their staff is scared.
It's not even just restaurant. It's like a lot of different industries: healthcare, hospitality, restaurants. Like a lot of industries are being impacted by this, and it's crazy. Like it's really showing how. I think the worst part about it is that you see people like cheer on for this. Like when they saw Renee Good get murdered and Alex Preddy and Keith Porter just like clap it on like they deserved it, and it's gross.
It is gross. I guess I'm an actor. act much. I'm in SAG, and I write stuff. So the more I see this kind of stuff, I just feel like, well, those of us who like work in the media in some capacity, it's like on us to get better at messaging, because a lot of these people, they're just like consuming a bunch of stuff that's telling them the world is one way when it's not that way. Like any video I've made that like talks about ICE, well, it's so funny, like the different platforms get different responses. Like my Instagram videos automatically get posted on Facebook, and so then strangers on Facebook will comment and they'll say like, it's good that they're getting the criminals. And then, you know, like my high school friends are commenting like, they're not criminals, they're just regular people. What are you? But these people are hearing from somewhere that they're criminals. And so I don't want to just like throw my hands up and give up and be like, well, we've lost these people.
No, and I do think a lot of these people, like, I do think, have you ever heard, oh my God, I forgot what their name is, but it's like this brother and sister duo who like talk to their very conservative parents, and like one of them is like a conservative, like ultra, like MAGA person.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe even people like that can come back, but that there is potential for them to come back. That you just, again, you have to address a lot of the concerns of what is being talked about. Like if we talk about, you know, improving the material conditions of a lot of people, that's why here in California, like because a lot of our politicians are not addressing the needs of the people, the working people, that they're allowed.
Yeah, they're like, well, the other side is talking about it, and the Democrats.
Yeah, the other side is talking about that. We finally, that crazy enough that in the race for governor, there are 2 Republicans leading. There's a world where, because of the California primary system, that it's going to be 2 Republicans in the general. And I think that's a large part of the failures of like the Democratic Party here, where they're not addressing the needs of people. And if this continues to grow, I do, like, knock on wood, but I do expect that California might turn purple in the next 10 years, if not fully red. I know people might scoff at that, but I do think if nothing changes, we're heading down that route. Oh, something else. That's why I'm trying to run here. I slightly more. Sorry, I'm like also reading the comments here.
Sure, yeah. I have slightly more hope now, having finally found some common political ground to talk to my boomer lib parents about and have them not shut me out immediately. Well, yeah, you guys know I'm a big fan of the Pope. I'm really excited by the Pope and these cardinals coming out and saying like, wait a second, Catholics are anti-war. Fuck you.
Yeah. I was so worried that the new Pope was going to be like bad, that we had like Pope Francis and then now like the American Pope, but he's been great. I knew
he'd be good. I called it.
We got another woke Pope. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
No, unfortunately, what's his name? Roger Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, he's too rich. It's not going to be like a Onion or InfoWars type deal.
Roger Ailes. I get them all.
Roger Ailes is someone else. No, I was thinking of Rupert Murdoch. Yeah.
I really just think we have to like run like populist Bernie Sanders types, for lack of a better word, and make it sound so logical and so appealing that even Fox News viewers are like, this makes sense. We want this.
I mean, do you remember back in like 2019 or 2020 where Bernie did that Fox News town hall, and he just like knocked
Yeah.
it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
We're even on the national scale, like was it 90% or 80% of like registered Democrats support single like Medicare for all, but like
Mhm.
even half of Republicans support Medicare for all. So like
Yeah.
people like these ideas. We've been so conditioned to hate quote unquote socialism or communism or whatever that like the second you say that word, people are instantly turned off. But people like socialism at the end of the day. They love socialism. They just don't like the word socialism.
Yeah.
So
We should call it Romney care again. Well, let's call it Trump care. I don't mind using the name if it works.
we do for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
Trump.
Sorry.
I think what happened with Zoran was like trying to get like more public housing approved, and I think Trump signed off on it, or however it works. I think that's like part of like why he went down there and they did the funny photo thing. And I remember thinking like, oh, that would be so funny to have a bunch of projects called the Trump houses. It's like total irony.
Yeah, that would be weird. I don't know how he's doing that. I don't know. It is crazy that kind of like Trump likes Zoran,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess he likes winners, so not
Yes,
surprising.
yeah. Yeah, I think he likes winners. He recognizes that he's popular. So
Mhm.
it would be stupid to go against someone who's popular and get backlash. Well, we're almost out of time. Folks, get your
Okay.
viewer art in. It's your last chance.
I'm trying to get my last Pokemon in.
Is there other crap? Are there other platform things that we're missing? Or fun anecdotes?
No, but I'll just give the stump. Like I want to make California affordable for working people, not billionaires who like want to nickel and dime us for every single breath we take. And that's why I want to make California affordable. But because when we talk about affordability, it's not just about how we can lower the price of goods. It's about how we can put money back in the pockets of everyday people. We talked about earlier with Medicare for all or CalCare. That's one way, especially since we are paying. The United States pays the most for its healthcare, and we get the least back from it. Year over year, people are just being priced out of our healthcare system to where even me, like my employer health insurance sucks. Like I haven't been to a doctor in a while, more as often maybe he's recommended. But that's the reality for a lot of people. They forego going to a doctor to pay for their other things because going to a doctor could bankrupt them. And there's that. There's also universal childcare. We're seeing a huge decline in our population because having a kid is becoming a status symbol of luxury. I recently got married, and my wife and I really want to start a family, but the cost of childcare is so incredibly high that it's not just pricing us out, but so many people my age. Like I've had friends come up to me say that they're just not going to have kids because it's so costly. And in California, the average people spend up to $24,000 a year for one child alone. And that's a lot. That's a second rent for a lot of people.
Yeah.
People shouldn't be priced out at becoming parents. Like, sure, maybe parenthood's not for everyone, but like, I don't think the people who want to become parents should be priced out. And lastly, housing. I know that's a huge thing that's where people are running on in California. We have to build more housing, but I think we especially need to build more social housing for our unhoused neighbors. Housing is healthcare, and people with mental health needs do far better than not. The one thing I'll say about Trump this second time, the one thing I will, kind of a, clock is right twice a day moment. Private equity's role in our housing crisis. You know, in LA County alone, there are over 200,000 empty units that are owned by private equity firms and corporate investment firms that they just keep empty because it artificially inflates the real estate market. So where their investments are growing, and that keeps a lot of people out. You know, there are 72,000 unhoused people in LA, and you know, you don't need the math to know that's almost 3 times the amount of housing for, you know, unhoused people. So I do think we need to tackle on private equity's role in the housing crisis. They may have not caused what we're going through right now, but they're sure not making it better. So that's my little pitch.
I think that's a good pitch.
Yeah.
Before we
Folks.
wrap up, we do have one more piece of viewer art,
Nice.
and it's a bumper from Mask for Mask.
But let me give you the Pokemon one first.
No, I saw some Digimon in there. I know those ain't Pokemon, so
Wow.
but that was great.
That's so funny. I forgot about that. I love to see a supercut of every time a politician has mentioned Pokemon. Pokemon go to the polls, of course.
I forgot about Herman Cain, R.I.P. But yeah,
Did you know the Fairley Brothers movie with the conjoined twins? Herman Cain is in that.
really?
He makes a special cameo because he performed that surgery in real life.
Are you talking about Ben Carson or Herman Cain?
yeah. Well, I don't know. Sorry, I get the Black Republicans mixed up. Whichever one separated conjoined twins. Oh, yes. Herman Cain was the pizza guy. 333-888. What was he saying?
It was 999, the default tax setting in SimCity 2000.
Gotcha. Beautiful. Well, Colin, I think you're the best. You should win. I hope you win. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on, and I enjoyed drawing Pokemon. So.
Yes. And what's your Twitch so that we can watch you play Pokemon?
It's Colin for CAD51.
Nice.
Okay. Twitch.tv/Colin for CAD51. So.
Nice. I'll have to add you to my recommended channels.
Just gave you a shout out so everyone can follow you at the
Yay.
click of a button.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Okay. Go to bread. Forrest, if you will.
You said go to bread.
Okay, go to bed, everybody. Good night. Bye.
Thank you.